Watch. Criminal Minds cast celebrates 300th episode milestone. The Criminal Minds revival isn't locked up like some serial killer. On Tuesday, February 1st, Paramount confirmed that the reboot of the crime drama was still happening, despite previous speculation that the project was killed. PR. Deadline. During the Television Critics Association Winter Press Tour, Nicole Clemens, Paramount's president for original scripted series, said the Criminal Minds revival was still very much in development, further teasing, "We'll have more to share soon on that, but it is alive and well." This update comes 6 months after Criminal Minds alum Paget Brewster shared that she thought the reboot wasn't going to happen. In July, Brewster, who starred as supervisory special agent Emily Prentice on and off during the show's original 15-season run, told one fan on Twitter, "Sadly, we think it's dead. I'll let you know if there is any progress, but it seems unlikely." Which is a bummer. A Paramount representative later assured E! News that the revival had not been called off. On the recent revival news, Brewster playfully wrote on Twitter, "When being wrong feels so right. I love it." According to a 2021 report by Deadline, the aforementioned reboot will reunite the Behavioral Analysis Unit for one case that spans over 10 episodes. Who exactly from the BOW team will return? That's still to be determined. Over its impressive 15-season run, Criminal Minds boasted an impressive ensemble cast, which starred, at different times, Brewster, Matthew Gray Gubler, A.J. Cook, Thomas Gibson, Shamar Moore, Joe Mantegna, Kirsten Vangsness, Mandy Patinkin, Lola Gladini, Rachel Nichols, Jean Triplehorn, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Aisha Tyler, Adam Rodriguez, Damon Gupton and Daniel Henney. Though we're hoping that a large chunk of these performers will return for the revival, it's unlikely that Patinkin will revive his role of Jason Gideon, as the criminal profiler was killed off-screen in Season 10. Vangsness, on the other hand? She said bring it on when E! News asked about the possibility of a. While we wait for more updates on the Criminal Minds revival, get a status check on the other pending reboots below. Revival. Party Down, Starz. Status. In production. The cult comedy will return as a 6-part limited series on Starz. The show ran for 2 seasons, between 2009 and 2010, and starred Adam Scott, Ken Marino, Lizzie Kaplan, Jane Lynch and more. Most of the cast, excluding Kaplan, is returning for the new season. Revival. Criminal Minds, Paramount. Status. In early development. Just a year after it went off the air, Paramount announced that it was bringing back Criminal Minds with at least part of the team from the original show. The revival will find the team investigating one case over the course of the season. Few other details are available so far, including which cast members will return, but a representative for Paramount has confirmed that the show is at least still on the table, despite rumors to the contrary. Reboot. Quantum Leap, NBC. Status. Pilot order. Oh boy is right. NBC has ordered a pilot for a rebooted version of Quantum Leap. Check out the logline below. It's been 30 years since Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the Quantum Leap accelerator and vanished. Now a new team has been assembled to restart the project in the hopes of understanding the mysteries behind the machine and the man who created it. Remake. Life Goes On, NBC. Status. Pilot order. NBC also has a Life Goes On sequel series in the works starring Kelly Martin. The new show will revisit a grown-up Becca Thatcher, now an accomplished doctor, and her extended family as she returns to her hometown, according to the description. Remake. How I Met Your Father, Hulu. Status. Premiered January 18th on Hulu. Hilary Duff is the new Ted Mosby in How I Met Your Father, a gender-flipped reboot of How I Met Your Mother. Duff plays Sophie, a woman who, in the near future, is telling her son all about how she met his dad. The story starts in the year 2021 and follows Sophie and her close group of friends as they figure out who they are and how to date in the age of dating apps. Reboot, reimagining. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Peacock. Status. Premieres February 13th on Peacock. Will Smith is producing a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot, with a twist. It's now a drama about a teen who gets sent from Philadelphia to live with rich relatives in Bel-Air, inspired by a viral trailer created by fan and filmmaker Morgan Cooper. Peacock ordered 2 seasons of the 1-hour drama. Reboot, Revival. Pretty Little Liars, HBO Max. Status. In production. Riverdale showrunner Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa is executive producing a brand new Pretty Little Liars series for HBO Max called PLL, Original Sin. It's set in the same universe as the freeform show, but about a whole new group of people. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina writer Lindsay Calhoun Bring is writing the pilot, and the show has been given a straight-to-series order. Bailey Madison, Chandler Kinney and Maya Rifico are currently set to star. Here's the series description. 20 years ago, a series of tragic events almost ripped the blue-collar town of Millwood apart. Now, in the present day, a group of disparate teen girls, a brand new set of little liars, find themselves tormented by an unknown assailant and made to pay for the secret sin their parents committed 2 decades ago, as well as their own. In the dark, coming-of-age, horror-tinged drama Pretty Little Liars, Original Sin, we find ourselves miles away from Rosewood, but within the existing Pretty Little Liars universe, in a brand new town, with a new generation of little liars. Revival. Sex and the City, HBO Max. Status. Premiered December 9th on HBO Max. Sarah Jessica Parker announced a Sex and the City revival, titled And Just Like That, in early January 2021, but caused a bit of an uproar when fans learned that Samantha, Kim Cattrall, would not be a part of it. Thankfully, Big Chris Noth will be back as well as other fan favorites. The new show will follow the women's lives in New York in their 50s, and HBO Max boss Casey Bloys has promised more diversity both behind and in front of the camera. So far, the cast also includes returning stars Cynthia Nixon, Kristen Davis, David Eigenberg, Evan Handler and the late Willie Garson, along with newcomers Sarah Ramirez, Nicole Ari Parker, Sarita Chowdhury and more. Revival. Dexter, Showtime. Status. Premiered November 7th on Showtime. Michael C. Hall and original showrunner Clyde Phillips are returning for a 9th and final season that will hopefully give everybody's favorite serial TV serial killer a better ending than just Dexter becoming a lumberjack. Revival. CSI, CBS. Status. Premiered Wednesday, October 6th on CBS and has been renewed for a 2nd season. William Peterson and Georgia Fox return as Gil Grissom and Sarah Seidel for a revival of the beloved franchise. Gil and Sarah will be joined by a whole new team at the Las Vegas Crime Lab, and newcomers Matt Lauria, Paula Newsome and Mel Rodriguez have joined the cast. CBS has given CSI Vegas, which it is calling a sequel, a series order for the 2021-2022 TV season. Reboot. The Wonder Years, ABC. Status. Premiered September 22nd on ABC. A new version of The Wonder Years will follow a black family in 1960s Alabama, and the cast is good. Don Cheadle will play the adult version of Dean Williams, the main character, with 12-year-old Dean played by Elisha E.J. Williams. Dule Hill will play Dean's dad, an outspoken musician. Saquon Sangblo will play Dean's accountant mother. Lee Daniels and original Wonder Years star Fred Savage are producing. Reboot, sequel. Fantasy Island, Fox. Status. Renewed for a 2nd season. Jocelyn Sanchez plays Elena Rourke, descendant of Mr. Rourke. Ricardo Montalban, the mysterious man who oversaw the original Fantasy Island. It's an anthology series set at a resort where guests can have their fantasies fulfilled, for a price. Kiera Barnes and John Gabriel Rodriguez also star. Reboot, sequel. The Flintstones, Fox. Status. In development. Elizabeth Banks is executive producing and starring in a new Flintstones update called Bedrock, in which she would voice the grown-up Pebbles Flintstone. who's working on her own career as her dad nears retirement. Revival. Ally McBeal. Status. Early development. TV Line reports that a revival of 90s legal dramedy Ally McBeal is in the early stages of development, with Callista Flockhart returning as Ally. David E. Kelly created the show, but has previously said that if the series were to return, a woman would take the helm. Revival. Frasier, Paramount. Status. In development. Kelsey Grammer will reprise his role as radio host Frasier Crane in a revival of the NBC comedy, which ran from 1993 to 2004. Few other details are available, but as Grammer said in his statement about the new series, there has long been a call from fans for its return, and that call is now answered. In July 2021, Grammer said Frasier is now living somewhere new, and is rich beyond his dreams. Reboot. Doogie Howser, Disney. Status. Premiered September 8 on Disney. Doogie Howser MD, the show about a teenage doctor played by Neil Patrick Harris, is coming back with a bit of a twist. It will now be set in Hawaii and will center around a teenage doctor who is also a girl. The new comedy is called Doogie Kamealoha, MD, and stars Peyton Elizabeth Lee as the titular teen. Kathleen Rose Perkins will play her mother, a supervising doctor at the hospital where Doogie works. Remake. American Gigolo, Showtime. Status. Series ordered. John Bernthal stars alongside Gretchen Mol in Showtime's TV adaptation of the 1980 movie that starred Richard Gere and Lauren Hutton. Bernthal plays Julian, a man who was just released from prison after 18 years for murder. He struggles to find his footing in the Los Angeles sex industry and tries to figure out who set him up all those years ago. Revival. The Game, Paramount. Status. Premiered on November 11th. Wendy Raquel Robinson and Hosea Chanchez are set to reprise their roles, with several other original cast members expected to make special appearances. Paramount. The series returns with a mix of original cast and new players to offer a modern-day examination of black culture through the prism of pro football. The team will tackle racism, sexism, classism and more as they fight for fame, fortune, respect and love, all while trying to maintain their souls as they each play the game. Revival, Special. Ray Donovan, Showtime. Status. In development. After being cancelled with no ending in early February 2020, Ray Donovan is getting a second chance to say goodbye. The series will now end with a feature-length movie on Showtime. Revival. The Proud Family, Disney. Status. Set to premiere in February 2022. The Proud Family. Louder and Prouder is a revival of the classic Disney animated series, which stars Kyla Pratt as Teen Penny Proud. The original cast will return, with Keke Palmer joining as new character Maya Leibowitz Jenkins. Revival. Punky Brewster, Peacock. Status. Cancelled after one season. Soleil Moon Frye is back as Punky Brewster, the lovable foster kid from the 80s sitcom of the same name, now a mom with her own foster kid and an ex-husband. Played by Freddie Prinze Jr. Reboot. True Blood, HBO Max. Status. In early development. Riverdale showrunner Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa is working on a reboot of HBO's True Blood, the vampire series based on Charlaine Harris novels. Alan Ball, EP of the first series, is returning as an executive producer, but former cast members will likely not return. Reboot, Sequel. Gossip Girl, HBO Max. Status. Part 2 of the reboot drops on November 25 on HBO Max. Gossip Girl is back with its original creators, but not its original cast. The new show, which is currently filming, is set 8 years after the original series and centers around a whole new group of Upper East Siders who aren't all white and straight and who are dealing with a whole new era of social media. It stars Emily Allen Lind, Whitney Peak, Evan Mock, Jordan Alexander, Tavi Gevinson, Eli Brown, Thomas Doherty and Savannah Smith. And this time, the teachers are Gossip Girl. Reboot. In treatment, HBO. Status. Premiered May 2021. Uzo Aduba stars in a reboot of HBO's drama In Treatment, about a therapist having weekly sessions with patients. The original series starred Gabriel Byrne. The new cast also includes Joel Kinnaman and Anthony Ramos. Revival. iCarly, Paramount. Status. Premiered in June 2021. Miranda Cosgrove, Nathan Kress and Jerry Trainor are all returning for a revival of the Nickelodeon show about some teens who become viral internet stars. All 3 stars posted a photo from the set on January 27, 2021. Jeanette McCurdy chose not to return as Sam after she retired from acting. Reboot. Walker, Texas Ranger, The CW. Status. Airing its 2nd season. Jared Padalecki stars in Walker, a reimagining of the classic Chuck Norris series as a Texas Ranger getting over the death of his wife, played by Genevieve Padalecki. Lindsay Morgan, Keegan Allen, Molly Hagan and Mitch Pileggi also star. Revival. Saved by the Bell, Peacock. Status. Season 2 premiered on November 24. The new and irreverent Saved by the Bell follows a whole new generation of high schoolers whose parents and teachers are the original cast of SBTB, including Mario Lopez, Elizabeth Berkley, Mark Paul Gosselaar, Tiffany Thiessen and Lark Voorhees. Reboot. Clueless, Peacock. Status. No longer happening. Peacock had picked up a reboot and reimagining of the classic 1995 teen comedy, and subsequent TV series, that focused on Dion, played by Stacey Dash in the movie. Etod Become a Mystery, described as a baby pink and bisexual blue-tinted, tiny sunglasses wearing, oat milk latte and Adderall-fueled look at what happens when Queen Bee Cher disappears and her lifelong number 2 Dion steps into Cher's vacant Air Jordans. Peacock passed on the show in May 2021. Revival. Lizzie McGuire, Disney. Status. No longer happening. Lizzie McGuire would have been turning 30 in the Disney revival, which had even begun filming. Original showrunner Terry Minsky left over creative differences in January 2020 and production shut down. In December 2020, Hilary Duff announced that the show was no longer happening.